Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning is on health. We'll start off talking about an annual family fundraiser that's been going on for 3 years now. Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated's Laughter for the Soul 3. And here to tell us more about that and a whole lot more is Dr. Arronica Williams, who is the Chief Medical Officer at Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated, and Jennifer Washington-McMurray. She is the Health Systems Manager for Primary Care Systems at the American Cancer Society's North Region. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. And it's good to have you back on the show because you both have been here before. And at Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated, you guys take pride in saying your health is our business. Absolutely. And that is a very true statement because you found a way to really tap into those people you serve and others in the community and get them to laugh and have fun with their family and friends, but also drive home the importance of getting health screenings and also paying attention to their bodies. Talk about Laughter for the Soul 3.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having us. Yeah. We really enjoy this opportunity to reach out to the community to have a family fun comedy event where we can partner with a number of different agencies like Jennifer and the American Cancer Society. You've been there, you've hosted. We have a number of different comedians who come and just shed light and a little bit of comedic interplay when we focus on health, which of course is a serious topic, but we want to make sure that we're bringing everybody under the same roof to really focus on the importance of health. Like you mentioned, Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated, your health is our business. And so what we really strive to do is make sure that everyone who we come in contact with has access to primary care services. And so we provide family medicine, internal medicine, pediatric and women's health services, and a few specialty services like behavioral health. We know how important that is. We see, especially in our country, there's a lot of mental health issues going on. And so we want to make sure that our community is able to benefit from the great services that those providers provide. We are fortunate to have a podiatrist on site. And so we try to make sure that all of a patient's health needs or a family's health needs really is our focus. And so when we partner that with, of course, we know that laughter, when we talk about laughter being good for the soul, looking at all of those different comprehensive elements that make you healthy, not just physical health, but emotional and spiritual health. And we like to make sure that we have a good time reaching out to the community and providing this event.
Yes, and I have hosted all 3 years, excited to do it this year. And really what makes this really amazing is that Cedric the entertainer, who many will know is a comedian, he's also a TV and movie star. He comes to Milwaukee every single year to take part in this, and he really has a connection with the audience. People know him from his diabetes commercial.
Right. What do you say? Tell him say it sent you.
Tell him say it sent you. And it really is special to have him make a commitment and a partnership with Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated to do this. So Jennifer, you've been at Laughter for the Soul 3 all years as well.
Yes,
for someone watching, how would you describe this event?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that we at American Cancer Society is so very, very proud of Milwaukee Health Services, Inc. and the work that they're doing in the community. They are the heart of the community and the heart, the soul, and bringing laughter to the community on topics that are not usually laughed at is a very unique and innovative way to approach the conversation. Of course, being from American Cancer Society, cancer is a scary word, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. And unfortunately, our people of color have a way of describing cancer in such a negative way that it puts fear on individuals to go and get their screenings done. We've heard people say things like, well, I'm going to die from something, or I don't need to know what it is, you know, and stuff, or I don't want to talk about what grandma or Pookie or whoever in their family may have passed away from, because they think just by saying the word cancer, they can catch it. Now, we may think, okay, come on, really? But this is really how they believe in their heart. to bring laughter to a conversation is very important, because we know that how we deliver the message can change a person's perspective.
Absolutely.
And get them into to get their screenings done. And we do a whole lot of laughing. I'm gonna tell you, I be trying to work, but I'm laughing. And Milwaukee is phenomenal too. We got some wonderful comedians from Milwaukee.
Yep.
And of course, we love Kelly Kells, and she always comes back home
Yep.
and support as well. And we just have a full day of a lot of information, fun, networking, and people walk away with good health information.
Yeah.
They go away empowered.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. And you mentioned Kelly Kells is going to be there. Also, there's Marlon Hill,
Yes.
who is hilarious.
Hilarious.
And there is meteorologist Rob Haswell.
Yes.
A lot of people have no idea that he's
Yes.
also funny.
He's funny.
He's going to be performing, and
And
then
he's been committed all 3 years too.
yes, well, he's been there 2 years
2
for
years,
sure.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then Milwaukee's own Old School. He's going to be there. So you have this lineup of individuals who all bring something different to the table, but what they have in common is that they're all funny.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's what it's about. So this is going to be happening on Sunday, September 23rd at 3 p.m. at the Marquette University Varsity Theater, and the tickets are very reasonable,
Very
starting at $10. Then there's $25 tickets and $40 tickets, and I failed to mention Christopher's Project's going to be performing as well. So I mean, that's a great way to spend a Sunday afternoon.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. So we'll put up the website address, mhsi.org, for more information, or give our girl Pam a call at 414-267-2655 for all the details and how to get your tickets. So Dr. Williams, it's worth mentioning also that Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated has 2 locations.
Absolutely.
So if you would specify where people can find you.
Absolutely. So, like you said, we have 2 locations conveniently and purposefully located in the community. Our larger location is on Dr. Martin Luther King Drive, so 2555 North Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. And we also have a facility on the northwest side, 8200 West Silver Spring. And so those are our 2 locations. One of the things that Jennifer talked about was the commitment to the community and the commitment to all of the people that you named being there. But Jennifer, when you talked about adding the delivery of laughter to things that are very scary.
Yes.
When we go to the doctor as patients, doesn't necessarily matter what your background is or if you've always gone to the doctor, because we know some people have not always had routine medical care, right? For whatever reason. But when you go to the doctor, sometimes that can be a very scary experience,
scary,
right?
yes.
So much like the word cancer and that delivery that you talked about, making it comfortable, one of the things that we strive to do at Milwaukee Health Services is make sure that people have a comfortable experience where they're able to build that rapport with their providers, because health in general, going to the doctor, even if it's just a routine physical, your pressure might go up or you might be a little bit anxious or those types of things. So we try to settle people's minds in order to provide that great care for them, which, like Jennifer was talking about, when you deliver such a hefty topic like cancer, we want to make sure that it's done in a way that not only you understand and receive what we're saying, but you're able to digest it and it doesn't become so heavy, and you're able and empowered to do something with what you've received.
Exactly.
Yeah, and when you talk about people just being familiar with their doctors, you guys are such a one-stop shop that they're going in for all their different medical needs, so you see the same people all the time, and it does become a little more relaxing for people, which is very important. So ladies, we're talking about cancer, so it's important to mention that September is National Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, and for the men, it is National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And when we look at these things, it's very important in the sense that with ovarian cancer each year, approximately 22,000 women will be diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and the symptoms are actually very subtle, and oftentimes, doctor, you can probably attest to this, they often are thought of as something else being
Exactly.
the problem. So people just need to get in their mind when certain screenings should be taking place and following through with that, right?
Exactly. And so the other thing that you mentioned is because those symptoms for women who may be experiencing symptoms of ovarian cancer, sometimes it may be abdominal or pelvic pain or bloating. Those are things that we may have experienced during different times of the month, or if we've eaten too much. We typically try to, sometimes people will kind of wish things away or make it something that, you know, attribute it to something else. And so again,
Which is easy to do.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because there are a lot of non-specific symptoms, right? And although there are no specific screening tests for ovarian cancer, it's really important to pay attention to your body. The other thing is that it's important to know your family history. So for any type of cancer, if there's a family history of that particular cancer or cancer in general, you want to have those key conversations with your medical provider to say, here, these are the things that have been going on in my family, and then have that intelligible conversation about what your risk may be. And so then you understand if testing or treatment or those types of things, whatever those options are, what's appropriate for you.
Yeah, and when someone is diagnosed with any type of cancer, the American Cancer Society is there to help in so many different ways. So what ways would you be able to help someone who has been diagnosed with something?
Well, one of the great things about American Cancer Society is that we address all cancers, not just breast cancer. And you are absolutely correct. If you're diagnosed with cancer, then what? I mean, now you're like in a very terrified situation. Well, we will come along with the patients and with our fairly qualified healthcare centers, and we will offer rides to recovery. Because when you're getting those type of treatments done, you're unable to drive. So we have volunteers. American Cancer Society is very, very much volunteer driven. So we have a program called Roads to Recovery. That means they volunteer to drive patients to and fro from their treatments. We also have a place called Hope House, where families can go and stay if they have to go out of state and get their treatments. We don't have to break families up. We offer those type of services that people are not even aware of. So we do a lot of things as well as research. A lot of times, our community is afraid of research, understandably so because of the history, but we won't be able to find out a cure without research. So when you see us doing events like Relay for Life or Strides or any type of fundraiser event, it is to go towards research. And then again, we also partner with other organizations like NFL or Walgreens and Walmart, and we provide along with them grants to facilities like MHSI so that they can do this type of work in the community to help increase screening rates and education among the underserved community. So our partnership is very strong and very deep and necessary. And that's the way we're really going to make a change in the community. And education is so very important.
Yeah.
And we need to educate our community about healthy lifestyles.
Well, that's why you're here today.
Exactly.
And we know that early detection is key also
It's
when it
definitely
comes
the
to
key.
many of the diseases that
Yes.
people deal with on a daily basis. So we've quickly run out of time, but I did want to mention in dealing with prostate cancer for men, in the U.S., 1 out of every 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. So beginning at the age of 50, they need to definitely go get that screening. And if they have a family history, maybe even before then. So important information to share. Quickly, just want to once again invite everybody to Laughter for the Soul 3, happening Sunday, September 23rd, featuring Cedric the Entertainer. And the thing is, Cedric just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yes,
He's got a new TV show coming out this fall called The
Yeah.
Neighborhood. I mean, he's doing big things,
Yes,
but he
he
still
is.
finds the time
Yeah.
to travel to Milwaukee
Yes.
to help make a difference in bringing people together with the message of just being healthy. So
Yes.
that's what it's all about. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you
us.
so
Always a
much.
pleasure. Dr. Arronica Williams is the Chief Medical Officer at Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated, and Jennifer Washington-McMurray, she's the Health Systems Manager for Primary Care Systems at the American Cancer Society North Region. For more information on anything that we've discussed today, you can visit mhsi.org or cancer.org. alzheimerswatch.org. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll discuss Alzheimer's disease, which is the 6th leading cause of death in the U.S. You can also find out how you can help find a cure by participating in the annual walk to end Alzheimer's. We'll do that right after this.